Good afternoon. We are here to present about public transport ticket system. I will give you a brief introduction so you can figure out how all fits into place. First of all, there are three types of cards. Actually, two types of cards. One is smart card, and another one is a passive card, which is paper ticket. And there's another mobile-based system which uses NFC as a ticket, and the user will buy those physical tickets from the pay station, and buy from the pay station UI, and he can give as payment methods. He can give either cash or credit, and he can take a card which is a smart card or a one-time travel pass or a one-direction pass, and package control will handle how the packages are added into the card. And as we talk about the travel card, there is smart card and the passive card. Passive card which is the paper-based card, and smart card is the electronic card. And then there's mobile UI, which is used to have the mobile-based touch card, and then we have the card reader UI. Card reader is placed in a bus or whatever the transport vehicle, and when the user goes and keeps his card near the card reader, it will automatically detect, and a thread is run to detect the card when it comes near proximity, and then a log will be created. There are three types of logs. One is the main log, and another one is the card reader log. Card reader log will be in the card reader for the vehicles and the card reader. And there's a temporary log. Temporary log is for those passive cards, paper-based cards. And when a card is taken, an account will be created, and account control will handle all the account methods. And there are three types of accounts. One is a temporary account. Temporary account is for passive cards, and mobile account is for mobile based card. And then there's a smart account for smart card. And inspector will have an inspector UI. He can access the travel cards, so he can find out whether the passengers have checked in properly or checked out or whatever any dealings. And then transport provider will have a UI as well, so he can update packages through package control, or he can access the log control, which he can access log and get big data, so he can arrange schedules or whatever. And then there's a class diagram. And as for distance chart is used by the card reader UI to take distances and calculate fares. And I will explain about the CRC cards.
Actually, before we are designing the class diagram, we have read the case study and identified six major classes and create CRC cards for them. One is account. So responsibilities will be manipulating the user accounts. The accounts will be collaborate with the card reader for the when the passenger takes the card, then type the card into the card reader. So and the pay station to issue the card, to get the card, selecting the package, and with the travel card also. So the travel card will only collaborate with the card reader, because when a passenger gets in the transport method, he or she has to type the card into the card reader. So card reader will do this, right? So it will only have the collaborator with the card reader. And about the packages, it has collaborator with the accounts. The responsibilities will be define charges, create packages, packages, and update packages. So and the log is the other one. So log collaborate with the card reader, because when a passenger goes to the transport method, when check-in place, charge amount, those kind of things will be written to the log by the card reader. And other one is card reader. Card reader will have to collaborate with the account, package, and travel card and log, because he is writing log, and travel card. The card reader has to collaborate with the travel card also to get the access and validate the card and other stuff. And the packages to get the off-peak charge and peak charges, and the account also, because card reader has to get the account number and check the amount and things with the account class. And the other one is pay station. The pay station is the class which issues the class. So it is covered with the travel card and the account also, because when the pay station issues a card, it will create account. So it is covered with the account and the package, because user select the package and afterward it issues card. So it has to cover with the package. The responsibilities will be top up account, create account, delete account, issue smart, and so this is the sequence diagram which shows when a passenger gets in the transport vehicle and get transferred from the transport vehicle, how the system will interact. So in here, the travel card act as the actor, and there's a card reader. So this loop is for detect the card, because we are using a contactless smart card for our system, which follows ISO 14333 standard, which means it has to get into the close proximity range in order to detect the card. So there's a thread going on to detect the card. After this ref section shows, this is the ref thing. So which means card reader has to prove that he has correct access rights to access the card. So first of all, he invoked the authenticate method, and authenticate method of the card will return an MD5 key. So card reader has to decrypt the MD5 key and passed as a decrypted key for validate method. So if the decrypted key is right, card will let the card reader to access and interact with the card. So after that part, card reader will invoke the get account number method of the card, and card will be return the account number. So after that, we have passenger can already checked in, or passenger can be leaving from the transport vehicle. So we have to check that. So in order to check that, we are using the card reader log for check he's getting in or getting out. So for that, we are using a class called log control. It's a vector class section. So there's a method called find log by account number. Since we have already got the account number, we are using that account number to identify there's a existed log. If there's a existed log, what we are doing is if there's already existed log, which means it has that particular log has the check-in place. So we have to calculate the distance and calculate fare for that. In order to do that, what we do is in this section there's a conditional statement actually. So after we return the log, there's a control class called distance chart. It has a two-dimensional array in order to get the distance from source to destination. So the get distance method will be invoked from the boundary class, and it will return the distance. So there's a calculate fare function which is established in the card reader. So it will calculate the fare by the charge, which is whether it is off peak or peak, and from the distance it will charge the fare, and the charge amount has to be deducted from the account. In order to do that, since we have already got the account number, we are using account control class to get the particular relevant account from the account pool. And what we do is, they are in account entry class, it has a deduct amount method, and we get that particular charge amount and deduct from the card, and it returns a success message. If this happens only if there's a record. If there's no record, which means the passenger will get into the transport vehicle, which means we have to create a log for that particular person. So what we do is, we have since we have got the account number, we are creating account in the using card reader log. So when he's going to get up from the transfer method, the rest of the section will I have explained above, and that's all for the charging. And this one is for top up, which means when user get the card from the pay station, eventually he will run out from the credit. So he has to top up the account. So in order to do that, there's a sensor at the base station, so we have to put the card on top of that sensor, so it will detect the cards as the same as before and authenticate to prove their access rights, so same as before. And user has to invoke the top up method from the pay station, and pay station will show a message to the user, give the cash. So after he put insert the cash, it will accept the payment. It's a self-code method actually, and after that he has to add that amount by add that amount to the particular account that the user has, which relevant to the card. So there's a account control class, and there's a method called find account by account number. So the particular account will be returned, and amount will be set to the new value. And this is the sequence that shows how the system will perform a issue card action. So when user goes to pay station, so first of all he or she have to select the language. So pay station will show its content according to that. So there's a select language method for in the pay station, which is the bound class, and after that language will be automatically set, which is a self-code method. And select package, which means there's a passive card and also there's a smart card. In passive card there's one trip and day pass, stuff like that. So in order to select the particular relevant package, you have to select the package. The package select package method is in the boundary class, and parallel operation will be performed to set the package and the set card type, because if we select one trip, the card type will be just a passive card, which means a cardboard. And if we select big with a like $10 deposit or something, it will be a smart card. So in this sequence diagram actually shows the one trip, how it issue a one trip ticket. So in order to issue that kind of ticket, it has to get the destination. So this actually distance charts has the destinations and the distance, relevant distances. So we can get the destination list from that control class. After we the destination list, actually pay station shows a map. So we can after user select the particular destination from the drop down list, or else from the map. If the user select from the map this shows the conditional statement. It will get the coordinates and set the destination to relevant particular position he or she has touched, or else if the user select destination from drop down list, the destination will be set and the direction will be set. Because we use direction, we cannot go from the once we go from the source to destination, we cannot come back from the same direction, because the one trip is only it's not up and down, just one way. So that's why we have set in the directions. So after we get the direction, we have to calculate the fare which will be charged for the trip. So in order to do that, we have to get the distance from source to destination, and we have calculated the fare and display the charge. After that, user will after that user the account which is in our system. There's no, user doesn't have to enter his personal details or anything. When you are buying the ticket, account will be created. So in order to do that, when since this is the event we are going to issue a temporary account will be created, because this is a passive card, and this shows account control class, which is a control class, and from that account object will be created, and set maximum accounts also will be set, and a success message will be received from the account class, and after that card will be issued to the user. Personas will be explained by the Vishnu.
Thank you. I am going to explain about three people who interact with our system. First person is Anup Gisila. He is 21 years old. He is still studying in private education, and he is an internet software company. His motivations are electronic system are easy to use and accurate. His frustrations are find a low preset pay situation due to explain users hassle. Second person is Abarani. He is a janitor at Worth Colombo Municipal Council. She is from Jaffna. She is weak in reading and writing. Her motivations are to being illiterate, finds easy to operate the pay station from image and symbols. Her frustrations are does not like the way it takes time to buy top-up card due to technical inexperience. Third person is Sriyani Costa. She is a teacher. She is 41 years old. She is well educated person. Her motivations are likes the way the electronic system charge extract amount for the journey. The frustrations are find it a bit hard to operate the base station with this. We identified some problems and solution when we design our system. So first scenario is face at the pay station. In our system use illiterate persons and eyesight persons. So solution of this problem is we use different language. Our official language is Sri Lanka, including English for the ease for tourists. Second problem is about the business logic problem faced when charging through smart card. We use solution for this problem. Charging that problem is the person who get off without sweeping the card. The solution for this problem, the charge the full amount if the user get off the without swiping the card. Third scenario is last scenario is there are long queue when we buy a ticketing in our system. The solution for that, we move the check the balance in our mobile application. So next part will be continue with the run.
Thank you, Vishwa. And my part in this presentation is to explain about the interfaces that we are going to create. Before that, I must say that we have, before designing this solution, we have looked into some similar case studies like Singapore MRT system, and so we have, based on that system and based on our assumptions, we have created these interfaces, and this is a smart card using Singapore MRT system. In this low fidelity diagrams, we have designed some basic sketch based on basic sketch of our UIs, and the high fidelity will this is high fidelity diagram. This will show the exact what is going to happen. This is the mobile view. I mean, when we use the mobile as our travel card. First of all, we have to select a language. There's 3 languages in Sri Lanka: Sinhala, English, and Tamil. So let's say we do select English, and then after that our account is created, and now we have to enter the phone number to it, and we can get registered. Now the account is created. After that, we have to select a payment method like this, and if we select Visa card, we have to enter the card number, PIN, and the amount, and after adding the amount, those details, the balance will be shown in the card, and after that we can access the menus. In this menu we can see the transaction details, payment details, different routes, and map, all those things. It is easy to use, very easy. And this is some example transaction details. This is how the map is going to show in the, and we can tap on location, source, and the destination, and we can do different kind of things. And our travel counts, how many times we have traveled in each route, so we can decide whether to let's say first of all we get a 1-day pass, first 1,000 card, then we can define based on this. If we moved very frequently to Colombo Kandy Road, so we can top up to higher amount to the card, so we are not run out of money. And we can obviously change the payment method. This is the change screen again, and this is some route details, and this is how it's going to show after our end of the route. This is how it's going to show our charged amount, route, all the details will be shown. And this is the pay station. Same things happen when getting a card. First of all, we have to select language and the payment method. So in these interfaces, we have created some user friendliness using like buttons. Other than words, we have used that. Previously, we should explain that Abhirami is an illiterate person. So if she can't read this, she can identify this symbol as cancel, and she can work through it. So like this kind of user friendliness we have implemented in our interfaces. So next we will move to the storyboards. First storyboard shows the Tikiri get into the bus and how she going to interact with the systems. First of all, Tikiri get into the bus. She has to place her smart card in front of the card reader, as Akhil mentioned, and while she is in the bus, maybe an inspector come and ask for the card and check uh, she is properly checked in or not, and after that, when Tigri get off from the bus, again she places her card on the card reader, so the charged amount and all the details will be displayed. And uh, second storyboard will be the this is the transport manager, and how the transport manager will be interact with systems. He has to log in first, and then he can view the map, and in this map the traffic and the traffic load will be displayed, and what are the stations that need to put extra inspectors, and what are the routes that he has to put some extra buses, and like that she can he can view, and some graphical views about the chargers and everything she can, and he also can get printouts through this system. So that is it about our solution. Thank you.
Let's move on to the graph diagram first. Why did we use thread class there for the UI?
Which means in the card reader there's a we use contactless cards for in order to communicate with the card and card reader. So in order to detect the card, we are using a runnable thread for which is a loop. So when the card goes to the close proximity range, it will detect the card from that thread.
There in the UI, inside the run method, what sort of things are you planning to implement?
Authenticate and get that access rights. So you can communicate with them.
Why did you use a separate thread for authentication purpose? You can simply authenticate without having thread.
Because we have to check whether the particular card reader has the particular access rights to get into this card. So it's security.
Yeah, it's fine. Security you can implement without having thread, right?
Purpose of having a thread is because it doesn't swipe the card or something. We just go to close proximity range, so it has to detect the card. So there's a constant method trying.
In that proximity range, you are going to detect the
Detect the
card.
card.
So for that purpose, you have to use separate running thread.
Yeah, according to the ISO 14333 standards.
If we put the card in that, so in that case it can detect, but
it will trigger.
it's not
Trigger the proximity
Yeah.
range.
Yeah.
The map run.
Distance start. Why did you use calculate where you are going to? Distance is not float, right? Distance should be string or something.
distance means some numeric.
Are you going to get the longitude and latitude details? So how you are going to?
No,
No, distance means kilometers.
Kilometers. Okay. Go there. Why did you use log controllers and logs here? What's the purpose?
Which means when a passenger gets into the transport vehicle, the card reader will create a separate card reader log in order to get the check-in place, and if he or she going to check out from the place, he has to check where did she or she get into the vehicle, so he can get the distance and calculate the fare.
So inspector will also check based on this log.
This log.
Log entry.
Log entry.
Yeah.
Each card reader will have a separate log.
Okay. Go there. Smart card is there.
Go up.
Yeah, go.
Why you are always having this zero to menu?
Zero.
Zero more in the sense means explain that whatever the relationship that you are planning to have. Any
inspect the UI travel card, or maybe the pay station UI plus travel card.
Pay station UI can issue many cards and
Zero mini card and travel card
Card
can
can-
interact with
with
the
the
zero mini
pay stations. Travel card can be to perform any stations.
One-to-one is fine, right? Many UIs for one travel card.
And 0 to many in the both sides means there is no dependencies like something like that.
Hmm.
0 to 0 means
Both are 0 to 0.
Some
that's also
applications
possible.
here.
In that case, it is okay now.
Yeah,
Transport
that's
file
fine.
you have 1. Other side you can have unknown 0 more. That is okay.
UI may have one or more controller. Transport provider UI one controller.
Because
Now, so-
this is the vector class. It holds all the package objects. So it's a
Which one is the vector class?
package controller. So it's like a pool of packages. So there can be packages. So that's why.
That's fine. I mean, this UI and controller, you don't need to have many controllers for that, right? Are you going to send different details? No, only one controller per one UI, right? One controller per one UI. Log controller is the log controller also vector class? Array list?
Yeah. Vector class.
Go down. That's fine. Now you should add interfaces and stuff rather than it's fine controllers, models, views. Not only thing you have to add design interfaces. Actually, interface what is the first place that you have to consider about when designing application. UI is fine, control is fine. You have to think about what are the service operation, but still you don't have in-depth knowledge regarding how that operation should be, right? But you have to have something like simple idea. At least you have to have operation in order to perform adding, updating, and those stuff. Something like that. So later on, you can consider what's the logic that you are going to implement when you are really start the implementation part, right? In the designing phase, you have to have service interfaces, right? And then decide what are the other classes you are going to implement for this service and stuff. Then you have to have service delegators, right? Simply whatever the request it comes, otherwise all things will come for the controller. What will happen for the controllers coupling and cohesion control, everybody is going to use controller. Understood? So you should separate it. Controller should perform only controlling, only redirecting request. Delegator would only once the request comes, will delegate to service. Service is the person who should decide, okay, in that service also you may have separate utilities in order to perform this time, get set time or something like that. It's not much mandatory things. So most probably the business scenario specific things you have to focus within the services, right? I add a separate layer and decouple services. Sequence diagram, third one. Up. Okay, wait. Actor is space station selected. Select destination. This is sequence 3.
Yes.
Select languages. Get destination, you are going to return only the destination, right? Why you are going to have separate array list for this one?
It actually distance start means a two-dimensional array which can calculate. We can cross-check from destination to source, so we can get the relevant distance. So in that class also they are having. If we take one element, it is a destination, so we can get the destination from that class. So we don't have to implement a separate class for that. That's why we use.
Yeah, you have to have only one destination, not array list, right?
Yeah, we have written in all the destinations for select the destination.
All destination access.
It will return all the destinations that he can go from that particular
Let's say I
station.
want to travel Colombo to Kandy or something.
Yeah,
Same.
all the destinations will be shown.
Mhm.
So he has to select the particular destination. So that destination list is there.
There is a chart you are going to get
Yes.
list of destination. Now from here actor, right? What is the UI class? Space
Station.
Go down. Why did he use set destination 2 times in the if condition and the else?
If he touched the screen, which means the map will be shown, and if he touch a particular position, it has to get the coordinates and get the particular destination, which means the place, the relevant place, or else, which means if he select from the drop down menu, can just directly set the destination.
Are not touching map,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Don't use cell else in the sense now. Whatever other things happens without selecting even if you are going to perform it.
Yeah.
Don't get the XY coordinates. You mean the XY coordinates in the tab?
On the touch
Yeah,
screen.
yeah.
Touch screen? No. That is not the exact way of. You have to get the longitudes and latitude details with coding API code from the whatever the Google map or something like that. Not the XY coordinates in the tab, right? Or whatever the device. That is for pixels. No, you will get
Yes,
the
yeah.
pixel or something for
Yeah,
that.
yes,
Yeah.
that is for the map. I mean, if you show the map, in the map, if we show Colombo Kandy route,
Okay.
so he will touch that to detect that point on the screen. We are taking XY coordinates, not the longitude and latitude.
No. So for that one, you can simply call the API code.
Yeah.
That's the exact way of not getting the whatever the touch location in the phone or tab and get the because it vary based on the device that you are going to use. XY coordinates would be vary, so based on that how you are going to really know the exact place that it display. Sometimes something would be different. So rather than doing it, you have to have a separate API calls. You can use the Google API or something, and you have to get exact longitudes and latitude details. Based on that, you have to get exact destination location. Go down. Set direction. Why did you create temp now? Temporary now?
Which means in this sequence diagram, we are showing that how to perform a one-way trip. So one-way trip, which means valid only for 1 day. So temporary account will be created, and all the temporary account will be deleted from the main database.
Account in the sense the amount you are going to withdraw from there.
In the temp account, it has something like
User account.
It's a
Yeah.
temporary, something like a user account.
Yeah.
What's the
Something-
purpose of having user account for this?
Actually,
It,
when we are getting the card, when the president issues a card, it will create a temporary account. So it has a 2D barcode. So all the information cannot be stored in that particular barcode. So that's why if we select this source for that destination, we have to give the we have to calculate the charge, and if we are going in a particular direction, user can use that card to get back in the same direction. So we have to keep a log about those things. And
No. Now here, what's the purpose of having account? Is this the amount now? User
What?
may use that in order to perform transactions for this account. Are you going to use this account for that purpose? Or what?
let's imagine that you take a card, a bus ticket.
Okay.
In this, you will swipe and get on the bus.
Okay.
And you go on the journey and get out. That's a one-way trip.
Mhm.
We are talking about the one-way trip.
Mhm.
And how do we know whether he can use it again on the same day? The same ticket on the same day.
Okay.
To make sure that it doesn't happen, we are keeping a temporary account
To store that.
because we
Ticket
can't
details.
store any details on the card itself. That's why we are creating temporary account. The card will expire within 1 day, and the account will also be deleted within 1 day.
For that purpose.
Because on the same day, how to find out to stop him from going here and there on the same card.
For other options, do you didn't you use whatever they have some other options, right? Not only 1 day ticket. Day pass is there.
Yes.
Off peak pass.
Off peak and peak will
Yeah.
be, which means it's the charges. It will be handled from the package control.
It's there.
Day pass is not that much of an issue because the card will be deleted within 1 day.
Within the day, he can travel anyway.
Go down. Where is the place that calculate fare card reader using card reader? It's in a separate sequence. Go on. What is that class? How you are going to know whether that person's account is overdue or no at the first place? Now you are going to it's the authentication.
Yeah.
Go to the authentication file. Authenticate. We are using MD for hashing. Okay. Validate. Why did you use actor there? Are you going to use now here you have to have a UI and the controller class. You are not going to invoke method in the actor.
Which means it actually can't.
It's a smart card.
It's one card. There should be
Not actor, right?
Yeah.
So that should be changed to smart card.
Smart card, yes.
Validation should be there in the controller layer, not in the card layer. That is, card is a UI method.
Card is not a UI, which means particular smart card has a ROM and a RAM and a microprocessor. So the methods and stuff can be stored there.
In your system, you are not going to implement it, right? It's there in the card. No, when you insert card,
Yeah.
it will check this is a valid card,
Yeah.
right? Based on the authentication details.
Yes.
In your system, you will get this card details and you verify authentication specific details and will send the message to a screen or something if it is not valid. It's not doing inside the card, right? Card will hold some kind of information in the chip based on the card's uniqueness, right?
Actually, I have studied smart cards. So in there they say there's a microprocessor where they are also stored authentication methods. So when we are
They authenticate.
yeah. So if card reader has the right access rights, the card will know. So card will let the information will be exchanged from there.
The encryption and decryption things will be
Thing,
done
yeah.
in here,
Yeah.
but authentication process is doing in where? Inside here.
No. When we know the authentication process, the card will return an MD5 key. So
MD5 will
yeah.
be written. Okay.
in the validate using the microprocessor, if
Microprocessor is doing the validation. Isn't
yeah.
it? Set account number. Okay, then how we are going to check your account has sufficient credit?
We are only getting the account number from the card. After that, we are just deducting the amount.
No, not deducting amount. You have to verify whether the given amount is overdue or not, right? Before performing the transaction. It is not there. Eh? Okay, get checked in place. Get account number. You send the account number. Account number for log control. Right? Then you have to return a log for card reader. This is there. Get distance. Checking place. Current place. What is checking place? Current place.
Which was actually when a passenger checks into a transport vehicle, it will hold a log for check. That's the checking place where we are getting. So current place will be considered when the passenger is going to take off.
Destination.
Yeah.
No need to use current place, use destination, right? Use meaningful names, calculate fare, okay. Calculate fare. Calculation things, now card reader is fine, but calculation fare, those things you have to put it in a separate class, not in this card reader class. Separate controller or service class, you calculate fare, those things, right? Don't put it in this class, it's not good design, because always it should, now card reader is, see how many method invocations are there for those classes. You have to split unnecessary calls from to other layers, right? Get account by account number. Get account number, deduct amount. Yeah, before performing the deduct amount, you have to validate whether the sufficient amount is there, right? Hold on. So charged amount. Deduct amount you are going to do in which class? That is go up master class. Account.
Yes.
So why are you going to call the charge show charge amount?
Which means in the boundary class, so just displaying the card reader will display the charge amount to the user when we going to get off.
That's also you can say simply from the account class. No need in the card reader. You are going to
No,
implement.
the methods will be in the card reader. So because there's a UI class, there's a boundary class. So that method should be in the card reader.
Show charge amount. Right. From UI level
Yeah.
you are going to
Yeah.
get
This
the
is
amount
feedback
just
is-
display
yeah.
what
Yeah.
amount
Yeah.
you are going to ask. Charge, right? Account you are going to return. Okay. Update profile account. Update box. Create book. Type create. Why did you use separate books for this one?
Actually, what happens in here is this is if there's a existent record, which means if there's existent, which means he has already checked it. Then this part is else part, which means there's no existent record. That means we just get into the transport vehicle.
This is
So
the
that-
template log which is created in the card reader. That's right.
So if there's an order, it has card reader has to create a log. So
No, what's the purpose of having log in there?
to calculate the charge.
Because if you swipe the card, it will create a log. And when you swipe
Next time you verify
Yeah.
with
Yes,
using the
yes,
log.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
That's right.
And the inspector will also use the same log.
Use this log for the
Yeah,
verification.
verification.
Yes.
Yes, that's why it's a template log.
Good. Feedback. Feedback is set account, set destination. Where are those things are there? Set account, set destination. Is it in the same class? Same sequence types. Set account number. Set. I create it. Okay, it's fine. It's okay. Go on. Okay, that's fine. What is the other sequence type in addition to this?
Top.
Authentication is fine, accept payment, find amount by account, add amount. Here, add amount. Add amount is fine. Why are you going to do that set amount again?
Which means account control class is the weight class, and this one is the entity class. So there's inside they are setting the amount. So
No need to set. Once you add amount, that is added, right? Added amount is there. Again, no need to set amount for that.
better clarification.
No, it's not better clarification. It degrades the performance. Again, you are going to set the same amount. add amount in the sense you are going to increase the existing amount with adding some kind of value, right? And no need to call the set amount. You can directly see return the success message for them. Scenario, go to the scenario. This is fine. Issues, scenarios were mentioned. Scenario 3. Possible forming a large cube. What is the solution you are going to use for the scenario 3?
Using less transitions as possible. And let's imagine even at in consideration even at ATMs we see large queues. And
Yeah.
there are
Okay.
even there are so many less transitions.
Mm-hmm.
So for this pay station we will have more than what is there in the current ATM.
Okay.
So we need to move people as soon as possible away from, I mean, doing after their transaction quickly as possible, because
Okay.
transactions needs to be done fast because it's traveling and people can miss trains. They are in a queue buying tickets.
How now, rather than you can use a web-based application and you can simply let that person perform without rather than waiting in a queue through transactions through web-based.
That's mobile based.
Huh?
That's why we have mobile based application.
Oh yeah, mobile-based, ne?
Yes.
Oh fine.
These are for pay stations are for either smart cards or passive cards, which are physical tickets.
Go to the other diagrams. This is fine. Sorry. High fidelity diagrams and things are there. No, go up. The same thing you added high fidelity diagrams
Yes.
for this one. No, go there. Here now. Okay. Maximize. Zoom it. No need to put full screen here. Please select language. Now this is only for Sri Lanka. You are going to select.
Actually, Sinhala will be displayed in Sinhala language. Not
Then from here, let's say once that person selected the language, then
everything will be changed.
okay. What's the next image? Show better. Please enter your phone number. You are going to register.
Register.
Let's say once the person is already registered one.
Yeah, then he will straight away go to the. We are registering the mobile phone with the SIM number. So that's why we are asking for the mobile number.
At the first time he is going to enter the mobile number. Next time when he is going to proceed again, it comes for the previous
No.
UI languages and stuff. No.
No.
No. You shouldn't select top up or something, get registered.
Then you have to add that UI as well, right? That means you have to have alternative UIs, authentication or sign in registration.
Yeah, this is the if it's already registered and the application is installed. This is the first home page that will.
Yeah,
display.
this is you navigate later, not like that. You have to have an already registered person. You have to have a separate UI in order to authenticate with using username or password. Or you have to have a registered option. If you click registered option, you have to have that those two UIs. You have to have now for this one. It's better to add some kind of annotations and specify what are the things that you have to do right at that level.
Actually, since the same mobile phone is used for payments, it can have only one user. That's right. Yeah, we are asking for the mobile number.
Yeah, next time also, next time that person considered as a already registered person. But it's
Because
better to
mobile,
have.
mobile phone is acting as a smart card.
In that approach, you thought in that way.
Yes, that's right.
Then you have to specify it in this, right? Go down, top up, translations. Wait, up. No, go down. Next one. Okay, wait, below. Wait. Up. Next one, previous one. Enter your card. Okay, next one. You have to have annotations, right? And mention what will happen when you click next buttons and stuff.
This will paste it.
Okay, then.